Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Democrats are not problem solvers. They just straight up do not know how to be strong leaders who attack the crux of an issue and solve the problem. They make situations worse. They make everything worse for everyone around them. And you, as a citizen in a potential Democrat state or city, are the ones who have to deal with the sharp end of the sword. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Things are getting really complex. And complex solutions require discussion, debate, finding middle ground. Actually being honest with yourself is, of course, really important. Being honest with what the real problems are and tackling them instead of finding cheap excuses and scapegoats. And when you're in that kind of realm, this is where Democrats fall flat on their face every single time. This is where Democrats fundamentally fail, personally, I believe, in their mentality, taking responsibility, being introspective, looking within, and instead they find little cheap solutions or outcries or rhetoric that just makes it worse. And that's exactly what Mayor Lori Lightfoot is doing right now. In my opinion, the entire Chicago government has been a failure for near decades, and they've never been held accountable. Lori Lightfoot is facing some scrutiny right now, and so what is she doing? The cheapest publicity ploy, the cheapest scapegoat, and just throwing police officers under a bus just to take attention off of the true problems of Chicago, to take attention off her own back, and to put it all on the police department. It's absolutely despicable. But one thing it's not, like I always say, is surprising. It's predictable. Wait till I show you guys this. We got a lot to get into, but before we do, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We're still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so you guys might not be aware of this, but Mayor Lori Lightfoot has been under a whole lot of scrutiny for the last couple of months, maybe even the last year. Whether it's Republicans last year during the riots, her response to the COVID pandemic, you name it, the violence in her city, she's been under a microscope more so than I think she's used to. And now she has lefty Twitter going after her after the Adam Toledo incident. I don't want to get too much into the incident or talk about whether or not it was justified. The point is, there is pressure on her to act, to do something. From the Democrat and Twitter perspective, that means a cheap stunt targeting police officers. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot under pressure to reform police amid outrage over Adam Toledo shooting. And see, this is where Democrats fail from the perspective of leadership. Instead of steering the ship, instead of being a leader, community building, bringing both sides together, she caves to mob pressure, and now we have this report right over here. Breaking: Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is considering requiring police officers to get a supervisor's permission before beginning a foot chase, and says she'll announce the new policy soon. And Breaking 911 is not the only one reporting this. We've got this right here from Fox Milwaukee. Chicago cops may soon need permission before chasing suspect on foot. Chicago officers may soon have to ask supervisors before starting a foot chase. How is that a solution? Please, somebody explain this to me. This is the Democrat perspective. Adam Toledo and his friend fired off a bunch of random shots indiscriminately across the street. Police officers were called. A foot chase ensued. A gun was flashed, and the events transpired. Like I said, there's a lot of nuance. It's a complex situation. Lori Lightfoot doesn't want to talk about the gang culture that had a 13-year-old on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning shooting a gun. She doesn't want to talk about fleeing police officers, the lack of respect for law and order in her city, and illegal gun crime that's more pervasive than it is in some third world parts of the country. No, she wants to abolish and ban and reform and regulate and control foot chases. The most surface level thing that happened in this situation was that a police officer engaged in a foot chase with the suspect. So therefore, that must be the problem, and that's what she must attack. This is what I mean when I say Democrats are cowardly, feckless leaders who don't know how to solve situations. They don't know how to take a stand and be strong leaders and actually make progressive, real policy change. I mean, let's just really quickly put things into perspective. First off, the complete lunacy that a police officer is going to see something happen. A crime occurs. The criminal, the perpetrator, the person who acted is now running away, trying to flee. That police officer is supposed to stop, call their supervisor, describe what happened. He had a knife. He stole a purse. He assaulted someone right in front of me. Now he's running away. Can I please pursue him? The supervisor asks questions. Oh, what's he wearing? What's he look like? This, that. Oh, I don't know. I can't see him anymore. He's 7 blocks away already. I've lost him. Sorry. I question, does that make any sense? Let's further put this stuff into perspective. Lori Lightfoot is finally taking action and taking a stand against police officers and their right to start a foot chase. Meanwhile, Lori Lightfoot has never once taken a stand on the violence that plagues her city each and every night, and more specifically on the weekends. Just last weekend, 27 shot, 5 fatally in Chicago over weekend. A 7-year-old girl lost her life and her father was seriously wounded in a shooting Sunday in a McDonald's drive-thru in Homan Square. Lori Lightfoot doesn't even care. A 7-year-old girl, guys, going with her father to get a Happy Meal at McDonald's. That's Chicago, and that's a very, very common reality in Chicago. But the problem is police officers who run to the scene and try to save the life of the 7-year-old girl, have the girl in their arms in a sheer panic trying to do something. They're the bad guy. It's twisted. It's absolutely twisted. It's backwards. It's the wrong way. A 7-year-old girl. And it happens over and over again. Here's the Chicago Tribune that tracks shooting victims in the city. Just take a look at this map. In such a small radius that is the actual city, the metropolis of Chicago, it's nearly fully covered in shootings. The red ones are fatal, the blue ones are non-fatal. Everywhere you go, you're at risk. This is a Democrat city. If you scroll down, just take a look at this. These are shooting victims in the city of Chicago, fatal and non-fatal. Look how many happen a day. On April 18th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 people shot at in a single day in Chicago. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot is focused on making sure that police officers, before they engage in a foot chase, make sure that they have permission from their supervisor, who's then going to have to ask permission from the DA's office, who's then going to have to ask permission from a judge and get a warrant, which then Mayor Lori Lightfoot's going to have to come and okay herself and sign a piece of paper. Then that piece of paper is going to have to be faxed back, department to department to department. Then they're going to give it to a pigeon who's going to fly the paper to the officer who's on scene. He's going to read it. He's going to have to sign and take full culpability and full responsibility if anything goes astray. And God forbid he has to use his weapon or lethal force, because the city's going to prosecute him if he doesn't. Who would even want to be a police officer at this point? Now, obviously, I was kidding with that whole spiel, but you get the point. It's just ridiculous. I don't even get why anybody would want to live in a Democrat city. Why would you want to live in Chicago? Look at this list. That is the most recent 50 shootings in Chicago in 2021. 50 shootings should span through the whole year. It doesn't even span 2 weeks. By the end of the 50 list, you're still in April. From April 9th to April 19th, that's 10 days, 50 shootings. An average of 5 shootings a day. And I know I got a little bit ranty on this video, went on a little bit of a rant, but this stuff just, man, it frustrates me. It riles me up. I get emotional and it's wrong.
I'm telling you guys, it's wrong. It's wrong! It's wrong!
And I truly believe that either Democrats are too sinister and just don't want to solve these complex issues, or they're just way in over their head and they're trying to do their best, but it's just above their pay grade. And at the end of the day, the victims are the people of Chicago. Left-wing activism has made things worse. Black Lives Matter protests correlate with a 10% increase in murders in areas which they occur. Poll, most Americans worry anti-police rhetoric will endanger public safety. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? What happens with more lax open border policies under the Biden administration? The cartels take advantage. What happens if you defund the police, pull police back, or attack the police so much to where they resign en masse? Well, gangs are going to take over these neighborhoods. Is that public safety? Is that social justice? I don't think so. That's the video that I got for you guys, though. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We're still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm. I got to get back to work. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.